this video, I'm going to continue on the previous video where I used the Google Apps scripts to create a function that will allow us to add orders to events to the calendar based on the orders coming in. So for this video, I'll be showing how to deploy it so that the function would trigger at an hourly basis for the emails that came in the past hour. Okay, so the first step is to find the emails that came in the uh, previous hour. So for example, now is 11 a.m. So this function would retrieve the emails from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So to do this, we need to use the search called after, because if we use let's say we use earlier than or later than, we actually only can use dates, and we can use time. So the only one that works with time is after. So we need to use after to get the time. So after, and then I will have the time here. So this time would be for example 10 p.m. 10 a.m. right now. So this time would be 10 a.m. So how do we get this 10 a.m.? I am using this function called get past hour time. So if we go all the way down to my get past hour time function, so you can see here this is a few lines. So get past hour time. So first of all, we get a new date. So this new date would just retrieve the date and the time back for now. So right now, the date and time. And then after that, we can get the time using this dot get time method. So once we get the dot get time method, we can retrieve the time, the current time. And then from there, we minus away the 1 hour in milliseconds, which is 3.6 million milliseconds. So there's 1 hour. So we just minus the the time, and then we get a new date from this. Okay, so once we have the new date, we return it. So what's happening in my function over here is I am getting the date and time for the today. So today minus 1 hour will be this Q date. So after that, I will use my search from previously. So I need a label order like before, but now we will need to add the after, like I mentioned previously, and then we'll just do a math floor to make sure that there are no any rounding errors, and then we'll do Q date dot get time, and then divided by 1000, because if you remember, the Q date uses milliseconds, but then this after does not use milliseconds, so we just divide by 1000 to get the actual time. So once you have the actual time, we can search. So once we search, it would be from 10 p.m. 10 a.m. until the current time, which is 11 a.m. Okay, so once I have this function, I can deploy it to run at an hourly basis. So how do I do this? First of all, I need to click this button and then click new deployment. So let's just give it an order description. So add new orders to calendar. Okay, and then click deploy. Okay, so you can see here version 18. So you remember what version that you deploy at, then click done. Next, we go to the side tab here. Click on triggers, and then we can click add trigger. So just choose the function that you want to run. So my main function is detect new orders. So just put at that, and then choose which deployment should run. So usually, you should try not to use the head, and you try to use a version that you deployed, because if you use the head and then you change any code in your head file, it will just automatically update. Which is and then if the code is broken, your trigger will not work. So you do not want to do that. So next we select the event source. So it will be time driven, an hour timer at every hour. So every hour you read the email. Okay, then click save, and then so this is the deployed trigger here. So we deploy it around 11:04. So because it it triggers at the hourly rate. So the next timing you trigger is 12:04. Okay, so how do we see whether the trigger has activated? There is this last run here, and there is this error rate as well. So these numbers would show up when the after the trigger did its first run, or you can see over here as well. So in your executions, you can see the version of the deployment that has run, and then you can see the type that has ran. So you can see my heads here are all from the editors, while the time-driven triggers are my different versions of my triggers. So you can see the status here as well, and then you can see the duration to check whether all these triggers have ran properly or not.